Hello, hello, everybody. Jonathan Munsell here.
Jimmy Borneman, how you doing, everyone? Good to see you again.
Oh my God, Jimmy, I'm so excited. I feel like I've been trapped, just like everybody else in America. I feel like I've been just stuck. I've been around more people in my own home than I ever want to be.
I know, it's crazy.
How are you making out up there?
Same thing, Michigan. It's we're locked down pretty tight. Our governor has put us in our place, and it saved a lot of lives. But my goodness, we're stuck. I feel like I'm from Jersey with the concrete boots.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, I grew up there in the Northeast, and I'm telling you, like, just to see it when it was blowing up there, I felt terrible for them. I felt terrible for everybody up there because it was hot. I live in North Carolina. North Carolina is already a green state as far as, cases are turning the right direction. We can start to do some reopening, and I can see everybody's getting very, very antsy, including myself. I'm going to have a friend over later. I'm going to break the quarantine. But I've been in quarantine for like ever.
I think we're on our seventh
gig back in like the beginning of March. So I think I might have had it, Jimmy. So we'll find out, I guess, someday.
Someday, yeah. You were down in Miami when it's just started hitting. You got back, and you got pretty sick. But yeah.
I came back from Miami, and I didn't even know anything about COVID. Coronavirus is what it was. Everybody was talking about then. And I came back, and I was sick. And I remember somebody telling me that there's this really serious thing going on. So I went and I looked at like the CDC, and it had like 3 lines of description about like what the symptoms were. And I'm like, yep.
Yep. I remember you were pretty knocked down. We lost a family member down in Louisiana. So it touches so many people. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're not here to kind of go on and on about that, I suppose.
Everybody does. I'm sure you guys are all in the same boat. So for Jimmy and I, it's been a little while. We haven't done a live broadcast in a while. So this is a unique opportunity. Both Jimmy and I have been diligently working on different projects, and we're going to share a little bit of that today. And we're going to kind of share how it affects you guys. And we have just a massive amount of tools and resources that we want to share. We want to give you guys. We want you guys to put into action. So Jimmy, I talk about there's really 3 steps to success in anything that you do. I don't care if it's personal, business, whatever. And those 3 steps to me are planning, right? So if all shit goes to pot, what's the first thing you do? Sit down and write a plan, right?
Yep.
You have goals. You should have, you should be organized. You got to have a plan. So you get your head around it. And then the next phase, which is massive action, and I've been referring to it as massive disciplined action. And you know me, that trigger word discipline. Discipline to me is about daily, weekly, monthly, things being programmatic and scheduled. So I think the second phase is massive action. The third phase is really, review the results and make adjustments to the plan. So I think a lot of people were in this place of uncertainty. And I think it's the worst place to be is when you don't know what's going on. You don't know how to plan.
Right.
So one of the big things that I was talking about for a while was, FYS, which is fix your shit. And I literally, like, up on my screen, Jimmy, I have like articles and stuff all getting ready to go out to the world. And one of them was just about some of the basics of things you can do when you don't know what else to do, which was fix your website, fix your online presence, go to your Google My Business page and make sure it's accurate. Reach out to your customers, and that was all like kind of like early stage is what, I was talking about. But now that they're talking about getting back out there, reopening business, now is the time for massive action. I'm not talking about, taking your plan and I'm going to do 1 or 2 things on my list today. When I talk about this, it is massive simultaneous action. And this is hard for some people. So you're going to have a big plan. You got a lot of stuff to do, right? You're in the restaurant. You got to go back in. You got to, we got to pump the beer lines. We got to check the cooler. We got to dust everything. We got to clean everything. That's if you've been closed. If you've been open and you've been doing takeout and you've been doing delivery and those types of things, you're in a much better spot. But the next phase really, at first it was easy. It was like, hey, everybody go home. Right? The government said go home. It was the easiest thing in the world I've ever seen, Jimmy. And you know me, I'm involved with a lot of really big companies. And I got to tell you, like for one of the worst things I've ever had to do, I had to furlough over 100 people. One of the worst things I've ever had to do, I got to say, it wasn't that difficult because it wasn't like I made the decision. It wasn't like we made bad business decisions and we're to blame, you know, and we screwed it up, guys. You guys are losing your jobs. There's nothing we can do. They're saying, you know, close or limit it. You know, this is my plan for limiting it. This is what I got. So,
Yep.
you know, so I got to, you know, hopefully, you know, people are in that boat and you still have some resources, still have lots of employees that are available to come back to work. But now's the time you have to like re-engage all of those employees. You know, what else would you be doing right now, Jimmy?
Re-engaging with some of who my customers are, the ones that are doing the takeout and the delivery. I'd be trying to figure out who they are, how to get in touch with them, to communicate with them, to let them know that we're opening back up, or that they can continue to do the takeout if they feel more comfortable with that kind of thing. But my list would be all about pulling all those people together.
Yeah. So like again, Jimmy, to me, it's like there's like a playbook for this type of stuff, and the playbook isn't that different. And we've all been through a lot of different, I'm going to call it what the next phase really is. You know, if we were in Corona and COVID, the next phase is economic tough times. Some people were fortunate and were able to receive, you know, money, and there's all kinds of different grants and loans and things. And we have resources for all that for you guys. If you guys don't know what's available, what you can apply for, we have a ton of resources. So, you know, make sure you go and check out jimmyandjohnny.com, sign up for the free membership portal where you get like access to that stuff. But, some people were fortunate. They had some type of, you know, bailout type of thing. But the reality is I don't know who you are, but there's not a restaurateur. There's really no business around that can just, you know, oh, I'm good, I shut my doors, because no matter what, at some point, you know, something's got to give. And restaurants, personally, but from my experience dealing with restaurants and being a restaurant owner for years and years myself, you know, you're not capitalized well enough to deal with even the possibility of, you know, we're going to be closed for never mind 2 weeks, a month, multiple months. So I'm glad we're getting back to work, but rules are going to change now, right? It's like, you know, social distancing, right? 6 feet. Well, they want you to change your table setup now. So your capacity on a Saturday night before that was maybe 150, 200, you know, is now going to be 80 to 100. So revenue that you did before is going to be diminished because you can't put the put through. So you got to look at like, okay, what can I do?
Yep. Very true. No, and that's going to change the dynamics a lot, because if you're planning on a $20,000 a week, but you can't get that many people in the building anymore, what are you going to do? Raise prices? Well, so many people have been out of work. Our discretionary income is going to be less. So they're going to be looking for value. They're going to be looking for ease. They're going to be looking for, again, I guess, value. They're not looking for another $3 per plate cost to help you cover your overhead. And our employees, they might not come right back to work. They'll be making more money on unemployment and the government add-on to the unemployment than they would be coming back to work. And now it's my phone, getting sick. Sorry, guys. You know,
all of us.
It's just the way it works. And you might just not have the depth of employees that you once did, or you're going to end up with the cream of the crop. And if your restaurant was poised as the great place to be, but you had problem with staff, well, now you've got a pool of people that want to work. You can pick and choose the best of the best, but you got to have to pay them a little bit more. So anyways, there's a lot of bullshit that we're going to have to cut through.
Well, there's a theory out there right now, and I have a friend that's, you know, engrossed in the restaurant business, and her and I were talking, and one of the theories that she has is it's going to become very obvious who took care of their employees and who didn't. And the people that didn't take care of their employees are probably going to lose a bunch of employees. The people that took good care of their employees, you know, as the word gets out about those folks, they're going to be able to kind of sort and pick cream of the crop.
Yep.
You know, so the next phase is as you build this plan for massive action, right? I always talk about, you know, people, operations, marketing, management, financials, and service, right? Those are like the pillars that we always talk about. So,
Yep.
first part of the plan is people. So you got to put a plan together. At the very least, you should have ads running. You should be at least going through, have an Indeed ad, have some Craigslist stuff, and start just at least some applicant flow, having conversations with people, even if you don't know when you're actually going to be open and when you're going to be open at the extent that you would like to be at some point, or the staffing levels from before. Now's a great time to actually utilize this time to kind of really, this is a chance, Jimmy. I've never seen it before in my life where there was just a hard stop on the field. Every business gets to, take a breather and have a reset and then come back at this thing. So I'm telling you, like the massive action part of this and, building your plan. So people, okay, now you're going to bring in, hopefully you're going to get a bunch of them back, and that's going to be great, but you're going to have new people. So you got to make sure your training is in line. You got all the tools and resources you need for training. So you got to go, at some level, I look at this a little bit as a startup. So, if you're a restaurant success member, go grab the startup checklist and start going through it and being like, okay, what do I got to do to make sure that I'm good? But I look at it almost like it's just a restart, and just treat it like that. And you got to give it the gusto. So when I talk about that, the next big thing is operations. Operations, if anything, should be the least that you have to worry about. The thing that you're going to watch out for now is what the food companies do, because they've kind of changed delivery routes. They're not, they're a little bit in control. So it'll be interesting to see how they play with everybody else. So there'll be a little bit of operational challenges. I think it'll be the least of our problems. The biggest one I see is marketing and convincing people that it's safe to come out, that, you're taking the measures in your business to really deliver a safe environment. What do you think are the big blocks? If I had to write a plan, how would you prioritize it?
I would be the same thing. It's do the people believe that I'm taking care of the customers coming in and the staff? Are they wearing the masks? Are they doing the temperature checks if they make us? Are we doing that 6-foot rule? Imagine a Friday night where you normally have people waiting for a table, but you got to be 6 feet apart. All of a sudden, it's like there's no energy in the place. It feels dead. It's just boring. So there's a lot that we got to deal with. The perception to the customers. Are we doing what we're doing? Perception to the staff. If they're not feeling comfortable, they're going to bitch to the customers. Customers are then just going to stop coming. So it's a huge balancing act, in my opinion, of should I go out to dinner or not go out to dinner?
Yeah.
Is it that important for me to go see my friends?
Yeah, and I mean, oh my God, perception is everything. You have no idea what people are looking at. You have to be on your game right now, polished up, and really operating at a really high level. This is when you dig deep and you treat this as serious as it is, because this is the lifeblood of your business. And it's the lifeblood of all those people that work for your company, that work with you every day, that grind it out. It's like they look to the leader. And this is when, leaders need to be strong. You need to make good decisions. This is not the time to be indecisive. This is, get a good plan down on paper, and then you got to start taking action on it. So one of the things, Jimmy, that I think is so interesting. So I am plugged into the restaurant business, really, really well. So I hear stories from people at all different levels. So I'm talking to, CEOs and executives of, Fortune 500 companies. And I'm talking to, busboys and, people that grind it out every day, the same place I started.
Yep.
So I get a really diverse perspective on it. One of the things that I will say is that the customer perception right now, they're looking, I know a restaurant literally that they had one order get run out to a vehicle, and this place is doing, $2 to $3 grand a day in takeout, which is awesome. They do about $3 million a year normally, but hey, that's not too bad with no staff and limited kitchen and limited hours. I mean, I don't know. It's probably not a bad model. They should roll it into something else.
Right.
So one of the things was that they, they're all taking very good precautions. They're taking the pens in after people sign at the curbside, and they're dipping them in sanitizer. They have a whole process. Well, they had the person that was answering the phones one time ran out the bag to the car, and she, didn't have her mask on because she's been on the phone, and, brings the food, does the whole process. Everything was fine. They wash their hands 900 times a day. Their skin is falling off their hands because they wash it even more than you would regularly. And it's ironically, that one order is the one person that called back and had a complaint and said, I was really surprised to see that, the person wasn't wearing a mask and you guys aren't taking the precautions that, we think you should be during this time. So customer perception is really, really important. It's really, really heightened right now. And my recommendation to this person in that restaurant, Jimmy, was, well, you're doing all this stuff. Do they know that you're dipping the pens in sanitizer? No. And the same person didn't have a list. There's one of those people that in my life that I cannot convince to have a list and to communicate more regularly with their customers. Ironically, now that they've done all this takeout and to go and curbside, they actually have a fantastic database of people that were texting them saying, hey, it's Bill, I'm here to pick up my order. I'm like, oh my God, take all those phone numbers and put them in your database. You have the cell phones of all your customers. So that was a win. And if you haven't done that, do that.
Absolutely.
I said, one of the things I said, I go, what are you doing to communicate to your customers? One, I'd be going back to everybody who's ordered and I'd be telling them about any changes that you make. I would still be featuring things and keeping it exciting. This is not the time to everybody power down their menus and it's like, oh, we don't, but I'm telling you, that's a bad strategy because people they get really sick and tired of burgers and salads and those types of things. So you still should have specials. And what a great way to increase your social media. Hey, we're going to post our specials on our Facebook page, every day. So make sure you check to see what the specials are. Put that on your website. You get people connecting and looping back and forth between your website and Facebook. And what happens then, Jimmy?
The retargeting happens?
Yes, we pixel them and we get them. As long as you can bounce them back and forth between those things, you get another whole listing of people. So very important that you're communicating at a high level. The other big one, I think, is we think we communicate or over communicate. As a restaurant person, I practice TTT, right? Talk them into position, talk them through position, talk them out of position. So I talk all goddamn day, right? If I'm on the floor and I'm running the restaurant, I talk all day. So I think that I communicate everything to everybody really, really well. Well, your customers, they might not be getting that communication. Even though
right?
talky doesn't mean that it gets through.
That they're listen, right?
Yeah. So one of the things I said, I go, and a great medium, and it's the old school bag stuffer, Jimmy. Bring back the classics. It's time. Bag stuffer. Like I said, I go, hey, why don't you put in the bag, just a little, a quarter sheet of paper. It costs you, a penny that says, hey, this is what we're doing. And here's, go here and check our specials. We just added online ordering and all this other kind of cool stuff that you've been doing. Communicate it, right? A real basic newsletter, the classic foundation of marketing, get customers information and then communicate to them the things that are going on in the business.
Absolutely. One of our customers did that same thing. They, every bag that went out, they just plopped in this little piece of paper that had their website, text us when you're coming in, different ways. And then they went one step further and put a bounce back coupon in with it as well. So they gave them next time that they came in. It was like, whoa, really? And their people are just thrilled because it was like a little gift within a gift. It was pretty cool. It cost them nothing, really.
Yeah, so those of you that out there and you kind of you had to change completely the way you're doing and maybe before you didn't have a list and you didn't see the value in the customer information, I'm telling you the biggest thing that you have is you have customers. So if you're an existing business, you have or had customers.
Yep.
You get them back and you need to own that information. If you don't see the value now that, when they all go away and you can't reach them and say, hey, wait, but we are doing takeout. We are doing this. If you can't reach out to them when you want to through all the different forms of media that you can possibly get to them, then you're missing the boat. So it goes back to restaurant 101. What do you always say? First
day, first grade.
First day, first grade, right?
Yeah.
So I know that, Jimmy, I know that you put a bunch of stuff together and you got a bunch of stuff that you wanted to give, right? And get out there to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Taken the entire loyalty and reward system and stripped it down to be able to deliver it to people. So those of you that do not have automated communication, database management, text messaging, email, list segmentation, this is when you tune in right now, because Jimmy's got a couple things to talk to you about some of the things that he put together as a special, like, I don't know, we'll call it Jimmy's stimulus package. What do you call it?
Yeah, that's awesome. We created a little program, Jonathan and I did, called From Pain to Prosperity, and having the best year ever. So what it was dialed into was, if you're taking a to-go order, why not capture their name, their email, and their cell phone number on a piece of paper? And then what do you do with it? Well, we designed a cloud-based system where you just log in, you type it in the system, and then you've got it. You've got it in the database that we talked about. Well, that gives you the ability to text message them. It gives you the ability to email them. And then you can send them another communication and invite them to give you more information, like their address. And then we can talk about the birthdays and all that other shit in the VIP program. But this is just capturing their basic information. So when you do go live, again, you can say, hey, we're opening up unlimited hours. Here we go. So now you've got this tool that when you're taking an order, just type it right in the system, be done. In the takeout order, boom. All these Grubhub people and all these other businesses that are sending you business, but you don't know who your customers are. You're just making the food, sending it out the door. Well, when you're getting that phone call in from Grubhub, get their information, or put that bag in that says, the stuffer in the bag that says, go to this website, and there's the link. And they give you their name, their email, and their cell phone number right on your website or on your Facebook page, wherever you can get it. We created a link so you can put it in your Facebook pages. So they just click it, and it opens up to a what we call a capture page. So there's just so many different ways to get that, and then using it when you get going again. One of the parts that I was teaching one of my clients is, if you treat this like you're doing another grand opening, Jonathan. In other words, because you kind of are.
Yeah.
I mean, other than having to buy all the equipment and all the hoods and all the construction bullshit that you go through, you really have, starting at zero with absolutely no customers coming in other than the ones that know you, and you might put out a post or something like that. But you could be ahead of the game even now for the next 4 weeks while everybody's still trying to figure out what to do and how to open and what are the rules. If you can get another 400 or 500 names into your system, all of a sudden you're ahead of everybody else in the city, because you know how to get a hold of them and say, hey, come on into my place. Here's what we're doing. Watch this quick video of how we're keeping our staff safe. And all of a sudden you've earned their trust, and they'll spend their money with you. So we designed that whole program for, God, I think it's what, $10 a month or something. It's just a way, very cheap, just to give you what you need to be able to explode into the future.
Well, Jimmy, one of the restaurants that I know, whoever was working takeout that day, they would go on a chalkboard and they would put their phone number on the chalkboard.
Yep.
So they're not capturing it like it's like going to Susie, Susie's cell phone, who can care less, is thinks it's creepy that, old guys are texting her at weird hours of the night. But
right.
So it's like, if anybody is hearing this, you are not aggregating data, or even, you might have had just customers that just reached out to you, just trying to find out how you're doing. I've seen some fantastic situations where people have donated money and raised money and, thousands of dollars at a place that I wouldn't think would have that kind of following. All those people, you need to do something for them. And
Yep.
one of the things you can do for name capture, Jimmy, is go out now and say, hey, if you guys, sign up and you're part of our club, then, I'm going to give you guys, you're going to get an extra $10 certificate every month for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Right? Right.
Yep.
What's the math on it, Jimmy? The math is, I'm going to give you $10, but you're going to bring 2.6 people and spend,
$42 later. Yep.
So it's like, and you're only doing it once a month, and that's a whole strategy around getting them to come back. So now you're increasing frequency, then you increase the spend, and boom. Okay, we're back. Okay, here we go. Oof, we're back on. All right. So,
Yep.
I'm telling you folks, if you guys and I'm telling you, our message has been consistent all along. Capture names, utilize the information, and we can give you a gazillion ways to utilize the information. But you got to do that. So
Absolutely.
you got a great thing. How do they find that? Where do they
You can go to restaurantvipprogram.com/from pain to prosperity, and there'll be a page there for you to learn about it and purchase it or book a call with Jonathan and I, and we'll kind of talk you through it. One of the other things I want
and teach you the tricks of it. And there, I mean, doing this because we've spent a lot of time, in business. Both Jimmy and I have been very successful in our lives, and this is one of those opportunities where, like, the industry needs us. We have what you guys need, and I don't want people to feel like they can't do the right thing because they don't have a lot of money. So for $10 a month to get like all of this stuff set up and working, great. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, this is a giveaway that, like the whole program that Jimmy put together is a giveaway to help. So
yeah, and there's no real big, bump upsell trying to sell you something else after the fact. It's just, we've got a tool. We want to use it. You brought up a good point that I forgot to mention, Jonathan. We're giving you your own telephone number for texting, so you don't have to use your own employee's phone or the company phone. So you're going to get your own text COVID to this phone number, or text I'm here to this phone number, and it goes into this system, and you can communicate a two-way communication through it as well. So it takes you away from feeling like old creepy men are going to text you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I literally gave them, I did the same thing. Like, here, like, here's a database, use it for as long as you want. Like, please stop doing that.
Exactly. And one of the other pieces that we don't know what's going to happen, we got reopening coming, and then we've got summer. And if we listen to the fear mongers out there, the fall with the flu and maybe even another tick up in this infection, if that's the case, the governors could shut us down one more time, and the restaurants are taking the brunt. It's not the manufacturers and everything else. It's us. It's because we're so close quarters that we can get people sick. So if you do these tools now and they do it again, all of a sudden you can then go, hey, here's my takeout menu again for the fall, and here's what we're doing. And it's just a long-term play. It's not a short-term fix. This is an asset that you'll use for years and years and years.
This is an asset, guys. This is absolutely what you need to do to be successful in the restaurant business. You need to capture the customer's information, and you need to utilize it. So Jimmy, let me run through. So I have a couple other things. So as I was doing this whole, fix your shit, yelling at people to get motivated, because I'm telling you, like, it was really bothering me how people were just like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God, you have to fix your stuff. So yeah, see, I changed the S. So one of the things that I did, and I did it for all my clients, was I put together like an online business toolkit that allowed them to go and centralize all of the things that I was telling them to fix. So, we talk about different things and different things that you should fix and different things you need to pay attention to. So I gave them the online resource to it. And then, so I'm willing, so for all of your folks, because again, I don't think people have taken necessarily the right actions, and people might've been very successful through this, but God, there's still like all that other stuff that I said, where like fix your website and fix your listings and all that stuff. Like, you still need to do it. And again, the worst, and if you've had the experience of going out and doing it, and you go to Google and you change it over here, and then you go to Yelp and you change it over here, and then all of a sudden somebody calls you up and they're ordering off the wrong menu. I've heard every one of these stories over this, Jimmy.
Yep.
I don't know where that menu is. 2 years, right? Like, right? So, so again, there's like a whole thing about centralizing a lot of this stuff. So the same toolkit that I give away to my clients, I'm going to give away to everybody that signs up for the Pain to Prosperity. They can use it for the next 60 days, Jimmy. So this isn't like a trial version, okay? This is like you get full access to the whole entire online business toolkit that we utilize for all of our clients. So that's number one. You get it for 60 days. I don't care. You can have it. After 60 days, it's got to go away. If you want to use it, great. We will tell you before we shut it off, hey guys, hopefully you got done what you needed to get done. And then I also want to talk to people about some of the other services that we have, of which I've taken a whole bunch of that stuff and I'm also combining it so they can have it as well. You want me to go through it real quick?
Oh, hell yeah.
Elle, if you guys don't know, I have like the most amazing assistant. She runs my life and my world and my family.
Elle is a rock star.
Yeah, Jimmy knows Elle. Yeah, you want to get a hold of Jonny, you go through Elle. Yeah. So here, let me see if I can get this sucker up here. I'm going to share my screen.
One day we'll have to bring her on camera and say hello.
Yes, she pops on whenever I do coaching calls. Everyone, if I ever mention her, I'm always like, I always say, hey, you know, like, so Jimmy, here's, can you see that? Do you see what it says?
I do not yet. Hold on a second. Let me
We
see if my computer is just being silly. I got it now, John.
Okay. Yeah, and I will say one of the things, like, you know, I apologize to anybody if there's any technical stuff. The, you know, in this time with so many people pouring online, you know, kids home doing online schooling, and, you know, right now in California, you know, it's lunchtime, you know, so, you know, the internet's been tough. If you guys have been out there, I'm surprised we have not had a catastrophic fail of our infrastructure on the internet side. But so thank you guys for bearing with us. Okay, so Jimmy, Elle put this together, and I just asked Elle, I'm like, Elle, take everything we have and just try to digest it as easily as you can, so we can get it out. And I want to include it with Jimmy's Pain to Prosperity edition. So this is our local business online toolkit, and you guys can have access to it, and it's super easy to get to and super easy to set up. Okay, so let's go here, Jimmy. We go clickies. Okay. Oh, it wants to jump around. Okay, so one of the things that we've done, so if you guys don't know, so Jimmy and I, we developed the loyalty and the rewards program together, and we have restaurant VIP and we have restaurant success system. And then I've done a lot of other big speaking things, working with all kinds of different companies in all kinds of different industries. So this is really like a mashup of some really, really amazing tools. These are not always classic restaurant tools, but I'm telling you, you can unlock some gold with these. They have more in them than you probably will even need, just because they can do so much for online sales and things like that. But again, in this time, if you're not doing online ordering and you're not, you know, having your own type of promotions and you don't have a shopping cart selling stuff, you probably missed out. So all of those things are built into this. But we've expanded our free and low cost tools in our business center. So we have a big one location. You can log in, you get to everything in one big dashboard. And all of this ties together with Jimmy's Pain to Prosperity, and I'll show you how. So this is kind of like, you know, this is a visualization of a funnel, and it looks vaguely familiar to what I've been talking about to everybody for the past 2 years. It looks really familiar to this, right? Right. It's a funnel. So the cool thing is that what I'm actually, the stuff that I'm giving away is front end of the funnel. Okay. When we talk about the front end of the funnel, it's the be seen, the be found, the stand out. You know, it's the communication voice that gets you out there and also helps you understand how well you're doing out there in the world of communicating in the grand scheme of things. But ultimately, the stuff that Jimmy has for you is the back end. So if I was sitting here and I was like, you know, and if the dollar sign's in the middle, you know, the stuff that I'm talking about is all this kind of front end stuff that you have to have dialed in, that you need to have fixed. You should have been fixing all along. If not, you can fix it really, really quickly with the tools I'm going to show you. And then Jimmy's stuff takes care of, like, once you actually get them and you have a customer, then Jimmy captures them. We create offers, we maintain them, and that's where the dollars really stack. So these two things go hand in hand really, really, really well.
Yes, they do.
So basically, we've all had a couple options, right? We can engage and we can change with the times. We can. I apologize. I have two screens. I'm going to move this over, Jimmy. I realize I'm looking the other way. Yeah, hey, let's look that way. So you know, you had two choices. You could be engaging and change with the times, and you could be communicating value in your presence and your reputation, you know, throughout this. Or, you know, you just sat on your hands, showed some empathy, and you ignored the problem. Okay, hopefully you're action takers. If you get anything about Jimmy and I, we're like doers. You know, GSD, get shit done. Yep. So the online business toolkit has all all of these things in a really, really cool format for you guys. So it takes care, and I'll roll through them individually, but all of this you get, and then with Jimmy's stuff, you get all the email and you'll get the texting and you'll get all the communication tools that you need. The stuff that I'm talking about is having access to all the things in the world digital that are out there in one place, so you can change it, fix it, post to it, get things out, all centralized. This is like marketing automation at its finest. So first off, I'm giving reputation management. This thing will go out, it will find everything about you. You need to be able to manage your online reputation. You need to be found, and this reputation management system will take every review and review system and site that you're on, pull it together so you can see it. I will tell you this, when you go in, it's super simple. You just connect your Google, you connect your Facebook, you connect your Yelp, and it goes, whoop. I will tell you, there's going to be things out there that will shock you, and there's stuff that you've missed. Jimmy, I will bet my life on it. There hasn't been a client that has come back and be like, I didn't even know that was out there. Not even, I'm telling you, not one person, including myself, guys. When I plugged all this in for our business, I was like, holy crap. So social marketing, so it allows you to build fans, it allows you to find your customers, and it allows you to get in front of them, but it also allows you to actually create posts. It allows you to schedule posts, so you don't have to like go on Facebook now to put something on Facebook tonight. You can like write that stuff on Sunday and get it out there. This actually will manage all of your Facebook, all of your Google, everything you can set up and schedule, all automated. Website Pro, so there's a whole analysis of your website. And this is one of those times when the internet's grinding to a halt because so many people are out there. And this is a tool, and if you guys know anything about me, Jimmy is my IT department. And we run comprehensive analysis on it, but this is where we deliver you, and you can see all the different aspects of your website, how it's performing, how the speed is, and what you need to do to change it. And it tells you exactly what to do to change it. All for free, guys. The social marketing, so this is actually where you can bring all of your campaigns. So if you've done any type of social marketing advertising, we can pull it all into one location now. So this is like, you can see everything that you've done, every dollar that you've spent, every campaign tied together with the posts into one dashboard. Woohoo! Woo!
Bouncing around.
This one's huge, Jimmy. This is probably one of the biggest things I've seen for restaurants, okay? So the listing suite is huge. The listing suite is you guys have no idea how many places your restaurant is listed in the world. On the internet, like, you go Google it right now. Google your restaurant, and you're going to see some of them, and you're going to know most of them, right? But how many of us really get to page 2 of Google anymore?
Or page 5.
5, 10, right? This thing goes out, and it goes into 100 different listing sites, like even the yellow pages, right? You're like, I don't do the yellow pages. That's old, stupid shit. Well, guess what? You still have a listing in the yellow pages.
Might be from 1987, but.
Yeah, and that's the problem is you said screw it, and it's got, the old website, it's got the old address, the wrong phone number. So this thing goes out, it aggregates all of it. It takes all of your information, and once you just have your basic information in there, it goes and it compares them all out there. And you actually have the ability to go and it's an advanced thing, I will tell you that, but you do have the ability to go in and click a button and change all of the listings at one time. But in the feature that we have that it's available, we don't provide that, but we can do it for you. But in this one, you can see every single listing. It tells you every single thing that you have to fix or that's possibly wrong. It tells you where to go to fix it, how to fix it. There's videos, tutorials, everything, so you can get this stuff fixed. This is part of Fix Your Shit.
Well said.
Yeah, customer voice, okay? So this is where this is the next evolution, and this is really important. If you're doing takeout, you're doing all that stuff, how are you doing? Hey, I was doing great in the beginning, but I'm not doing great now. Well, maybe you should find out how people are taking your stuff, right? That one person that we heard called back to the restaurant to say that he didn't like that one person wasn't wearing a mask. Well, how about the other 10 people that drove by and said, I ain't ordering any food from there. They're bringing food out without a mask. Well, imagine you were able to actually just automatically, people come in, they come through the restaurant, they have an experience, and boom, this now, afterwards sends them a message that says, hey, we'd love to know, what you thought. We'd love for you to rate us. And once they rate you, you have the ability to take the good ones, okay? And this is customer voice is about controlling your reputation. You can take the good ones and tell them where to go post it. And you can take the bad ones and tell them to go, no. You got to call them up.
Rethink that thought there for a second. Yeah.
That's what I'm
we all know we want to tell them to go blow it.
I'm thinking was what I'm saying. Okay. So, but you get the feedback, and now you have the ability to reach out to them and say, hey, tell us what we could have done differently. Let me invite you back in. Let me fix it. Let me make it right. We care. Now that person is an opportunity to me, where that opportunity of like a bad negative experience, now they can become a raving fan for you. But if you're not doing any of this and you're not asking for the feedback, I guess what? I know you're not getting it.
Right? Well, true. And you brought up a good point there. Every problem really is an opportunity.
Everyone is an opportunity, Jimmy. I mean, you can look at it, and I remember when I was young in the restaurant business. You just kind of, they're bitching. It's like, no, like they're speaking up. It's because they care. If they've taken the time to do it, like, oh my God, look at it as an opportunity.
Yep.
So the next big part of this that ties a lot of this stuff together, that and the system that Jimmy and I put out does some of these things, but we have a whole marketing automation system that you guys can plug into. And this is like an automation toolkit. This is where you kind of take the stuff that we're doing. And this is kind of like, once you get through and we get everything set, we kind of get back to normal. This is where you want to end up. Right?
Hey, real quick, Jonathan, my slides seem to be stuck. Could you tell me what slide you're on?
I am on control your online reputation. Let's, I'm going to stop and share again. Okay.
I see it now, sir.
Boom. We're back.
I can't say that it's just mine or not, but I wanted to make sure if it was others, they saw where you were at.
Yeah. It's all good. So back to controlling your online reputation, you're able to take your reviews and you're able to do all different stuff with them. You can put them on your website. You can use them in social media. You can certainly be using them in your marketing. It's one of the main things that you have to have in your marketing when we teach you about how to market your business, right? All what we're talking about right now is like operational things, and you got to have a loyalty program. Like that's all like part of it. It's like first grade,
right?
Like day 2,
Yes.
But there's like a whole nother level of this thing that you guys need to understand. And there's elements to your marketing and how to write headlines and how to craft messages and how to develop offers and how to like keep up with the calendar. That's all like, an advanced stage. We're just talking about like the COVID, dig it out, like fix my stuff and keep moving. So you can, no, I can't do anything with it, Jimmy. See that? Who cares if you guys can see it? I can't click it. Customer communication. Jimmy was talking about this, and this is all part of his stuff. You actually can have a central place where you can communicate with all of your customers, and it's all linked back to their actual contact record. So Jimmy provides all of that stuff for you guys. In the future, so you have basic database functionality. In the future, you're able to have robust automation and campaigns. And in the future, you'll be able to again, right now, nobody's like, oh, I want to celebrate my birthday with a takeout meal. But the reality, the birthday program is a fundamental core marketing concept. And it's just one idea of like, oh, everybody has a fixed date that I can market to. Well, there's lots of other fixed dates and opportunities for you to do that, but you can create robust automated marketing that can drive this thing forever.
Yep. Our VIP program takes care of that, which is not the Pain to Prosperity program, but
yeah. Correct. But yeah, the next level, right? I mean, we can't give away everything for free, Jimmy. We do have businesses to run and people to pay, right? The L's of the world would not be happy if at the end I was like, I gave away 10,000 units. No money to pay you this week. But I did really, really good. And then there's future stuff. So if you guys do catering and things like that, there's opportunity management. So opportunity is like, hey, I know all the catering people in the market. I have them in my database. I can communicate to them. I can track them through. And if you look, back to like things that look really similar in the world, and this is where you're starting to cash in on the money, it goes back to the freedom formula. So if you guys have never heard us talk about that, that's like a great, go back and listen. The freedom formula will set you free is one of the things that I'd say when we talk about that.
I love it. I love it.
Now, you can get landing pages all tied into this system. We can craft them all different ways. Forms to capture information. One of the things that Jimmy, the RVIP program does amazingly well is the thing that we always talk about, which is what do we call it, Jimmy? Custom
club.
Custom club. Got it. Custom club technology. The custom club technology is taking information about your customers and finding out more, right? So they like football. So they say, oh, I like football. Well, then it says, oh, professional or college? Oh, college. Oh, okay. Well, I like, Penn State. Okay, cool. Well, now when Penn State game's on, you can send them stuff. All of that stuff is available to you guys through this entire program. And then you have amazing analytics.
It's 6 o'clock.
Like you've never had before in your life. You've never seen anything like the information that we provide for you guys. And all of the things that we're talking about actually replace all the other stuff that you're doing. The only thing that it probably doesn't replace is your POS system. And those guys probably told you that the POS system was going to do a bunch of stuff, but it never does.
Nope.
It never
it does. Quite make it out of kindergarten.
But it doesn't get out to the rest of the world. All of our stuff is forward facing. So this is I'm telling you, between what Jimmy put together and between the online business resources, so you guys can see your profiles, fix your profiles, understand what your marketing is doing, what it says, where it's listed, and be able to fix that stuff right now. This is like the dynamic duo of dynamic duos. And we already were the dynamic duo, Jim.
Yeah, right. Wonder Twin Powers Activate. Tells you how old I am.
Yeah, so if you guys want to engage us, there's Restaurant VIP, which you'll have links to. Success System Hub is where my stuff lives these days, and that's ultimately what this stuff lives behind. But if you guys want to connect with me, you can certainly do it through there. And, I got to tell you, this is your chance right now and an opportunity for you to operate and improve your business, and we're essentially giving it away for free. Below cost is no doubt at $10 a month. I can't turn the lights on in the office for $10 a month.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
So
you cannot.
So is there anything I missed? I wanted to make sure people understood, there's all this cool name capture automation that we're providing, and then we're also going to give them all the online resources so they can see and fix their stuff.
I think what I wanted them to walk away with was, we're really here to help you, and we really do care that you guys are in the battle and in the trenches, somewhere where none of us have been before. And Jonathan and I don't own restaurants anymore, so we don't really understand the pain that you're living, but we understand it more than most. So we really want you to know that you're not alone, and we always end our calls with, we're just here to help. And truly, we are just here to help. I mean, it's not a sales gig. It's truly just here to help. Where there's no upsells, there's no downsells, there's no hidden agendas. It's just, we know this works. We know this will help. We know this will help in the future. And we want you to be able to thrive and rebound and come out of this better than you were.
Yeah. And Jimmy, I won't say that we weren't here before. I've been through a couple, really interesting times. I got to say, the financial crisis in 2008, I had 4 restaurants at the time.
Yep.
Catering company, undercapitalized.
Cash was king. Yeah.
But the worst part of that, this was fast. That was slow and painful. That was like a meat grinder, right? Slowly, your arms going through it.
Yep.
So this was hard hit. If you didn't have your stuff really, really wired tight, get it really, really wired tight. Go out, use the resources that we have. So go to jimmyandjohnny.com and get the free access, because we have all the stimulus stuff. We have some really, really cool stuff out there to help you guys. We've been aggregating tons of data to kind of help and to deliver to our folks. And I want everybody, whether you're our folks or not our folks or someday going to be our folks, to get it. If you're in business, want some assistance, want to get it from guys that are there that care, then you're in the right place. You tuned into the right program.
Yeah, and there's one piece that I wanted to get out that it's been on my brain a lot. We're going to lose a lot of restaurants through this recovery, if you will. They weren't, like you said, financially stable. They're not going to be able to get reopened. The PPP didn't come through for them, and the EIDL didn't make it, and the partner money dried up because their stocks took a shit. And all of a sudden, there's going to be 30 or 40% of these restaurants that were once there aren't going to be there. So there's other opportunities for you as well. If you're looking at those real estate places that, man, I'd really like a second or third unit. When the SBA comes back out with more dollars, you'll be able to get some to go get that second and third unit to help get you back up to the sales that are there. So think really far in the distance, think creatively, and not just think about reactions. Think that there is hope if you are stable. I don't know if I said that properly, but
Jimmy, I think you crushed it right there. I'm telling you, I love it because, you know, it's super unfortunate, but I am opportunistic at some level, and it creates an opportunity for those of us that are still here fighting, still here swinging the bat. You know, it creates an opportunity. There's going to be, like you said, there's going to be real estate opportunities. There's going to be merger opportunities. There's going to be some interesting things to come. And I'm telling you guys, it's like, you know, the third phase is like evaluate and change and evolve the plan. And Jimmy and I are just going to keep rolling with this to help you guys as much as we can. The next kind of phase, I think, Jimmy, is we should start doing some demos of some of the stuff just so people can see it and they can see it.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that next weekend.
If I can use the stuff, guys, anybody could use it. So
yeah, you can call it. If Jimmy can do it, anyone can do it.
So Jimmy, I appreciate your time. I love catching up with you. We need to do more and more of this, and I'm telling you, we can really make an impact on the industry as a whole, and it's really about us coming together. So I will encourage everybody to not only go to jimmyandjohnny.com, but on Facebook, join the Restaurant Alliance, right? Independent Restaurant Alliance.
Yep.
It's free to join, and we share a lot of resources there as well. But for me, Jimmy, I think I'm signing off.
I think we're out of here. My friends, we're here to help. We look forward to finding you.
If you see this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications.
Absolutely. Good night, everyone.